She said, hola, ¿cómo estás? I need to stop playing around right now. Hello, and welcome. How do I want to sit for this? Do I want to lay back and relax? Well, don't mind this bump on my forehead, please. She's going through some things. Listen, I just saw a black and blue butterfly, and it came super close to me. It spooked me. It came super close to me and then landed inches away from me. And I was like, oh my God, a black and blue butterfly. The spirit is sending me messages. And then I was like, okay, let me look up the meaning of the black and blue butterfly. And it symbolizes hope, transformation, change. It could be a sign of good luck. Okay? And I was reading that black and blue butterflies are sent as messengers from the spirit world. I got that message and I was like, okay, cool. That goes alongside what I'm going through in my life right now. Then all of these other messages started coming up from this one interaction that I had with this butterfly. The thought, the universe is mind, the all is mine, kept coming up into my mind. And I was like, okay, the universe is mind. Okay, cool. Well, that is a Hermetic principle. And then I started thinking, oh, nature is mind, or mind is nature, something like that. Like, it just kept coming up, and I was like, okay, let's dig a little deeper. I just want to read to you that Hermetic principle of the all is mind. This principle asserts that everything in the universe, from the tangible to the intangible, is a product of the mind. In other words, the entire universe emerges from thought and consciousness, and reality is fundamentally mental, not physical. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. I started also thinking about signs and symbols as it relates to the experience of synchronicities, or just the experience of blue butterfly appearing right next to me, and literally just, it almost felt like it brushed on me and lands right in front of me. So I'm thinking of the symbolism of these occurrences that we experience. I'm aware of things and I know things, but to actually be in the moment where everything clicks is another experience. Like I said, that what the butterfly represents, even the colors of the blue and black. I was reading, blue correlates to sometimes sadness and grief, and the black correlates to the unknown and death and mourning. And also blue correlates to the throat chakra. Either way, all of these experiences, all of these colors correlate to my experience. I was realizing that was a sign for me, because it was almost as if the mind had sent this out for me to find. Mentally and internally, I'm going through this experience where I am feeling like I'm going through this transformation and feeling like things are changing. So many things are changing. And I feel like this butterfly was a creation of my mental, brought this forth as a symbol for me to recognize and for me to almost to validate my experience that I'm having. I am acknowledging signs and symbols as a reference to what it is that validates my perception or validates an internal experience. And then this also brings into question how the mind and spirit world are aligned, and how the mind and spirit world are in connection with one another, and how they play a role into how we can receive. What occurs spiritually is then brought into mind to be created physically, maybe. Yes. What is occurring on a spiritual aspect can only be represented in a physical way or in a physical form if it has the if there's mental capacity, which makes a lot of sense because there are things that we don't understand spiritually because we can't comprehend them mentally. So that makes a lot of sense. It's all connected, the signs and symbols that we see. I do just thinking about this and talking about this, I really believe that our mind and our beliefs and perceptions definitely work to create different stories about these symbols. Discernment is very important, and being just in touch with your own experience and spirit to find out and decode what is happening, because people say a lot of things. There's a lot of information everywhere. So I was also thinking about how nature is mind, or mind is nature. I feel there's fuel in nature, and there are messages contained in the energy that trees, grass, rocks, dirt, birds, leaves. There's just so much information that the world around us holds. So I truly believe that coming out into nature, just stepping out into nature, can really help kind of relieve or make space in the mind in some ways, or just receive higher guidance and higher knowledge. I've always felt like the trees could talk, not verbally and not through auditory language, which I can hear. It's more of like a feeling in my body, or even just like thought, cognizant, just thoughts that will just come into mind as I'm out here. Like I'll just be out here, I will go, like certain trees will call me or just pull me, ask, what's up? What you got going on? It's like we have an energetic conversation. A lot of the messages I've received from nature or trees has been about growth and kind of like the cyclical nature of life. What else? Creativity. I get messages about creativity. Like I was saying before, I believe that nature can help clear some of the foggy noise that's so loud, gets just drowned out when you're in nature. And so because that noise is that internal noise, at least for me, everybody's different. Because it's so quiet, I feel like I can receive more clearly when I'm outside. And it really depends on the days, because sometimes I just be all over the place and can't do anything. But I feel like most recently I've been really trapped in my phone and trapped on like watching like a lot of videos and stuff like that, which is okay sometimes. To me personally, I just didn't really love it. So just being out here for a couple of hours has just proven to unlock what is already here for me. Being out here allows me to connect with aspects of myself that were otherwise too cluttered to get to with all the, my media consumption. Okay, so come outside is what this message really is about. Coming outside and exploring the messages through nature and what you can receive and how it can impact your life. So from the mind becomes physical, which I don't know, that makes just so much sense to me. What comes from the mind can be created physically. And we've heard this in many different ways, right? This principle of all is mind is the same thing as, if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. My older sister used to say that, and that is exactly what that is. I think that we can get a hold of this idea and create and allow it to create different experiences for us. And with that in mind, with all is mind in mind, we can start really changing the way that we look at our lives and look at different aspects of, what's occurring in our lives, and try to make changes just through the mind. Okay, so that's going to be it for this video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Let me know about your experience with all is mind, with that idea. What do you think of it? What are your thoughts? I'd love to hear from you. Alrighty, I'll see you in my next video. Peace.